Okay, we're back.
We're back.
That was a little. Oh my god!
Was it spooky?
Well, okay, I was gonna say it was spooky, but then it made me think about there's cheer music where it's like, "We're back," and it like laughs. And that was creepy.
I just spit. I spit.
It's like the stars of Green Bay are back in Lime. There's this team. They're called Green Bay Elite Lime. They're actually really iconic. I fucking love them. Sorry, that was a side note.
I'll never forget when Blake Biggie sent me a Snapchat and he goes, working out to cheer mixes.
Oh, guys, if you don't work out
like,
to cheer music, you're not working out correctly. Like, it hits different.
Are you like doing routines like on your 12,
it's just like it's so
3:30?
energizing and like pumping you up. Like you feel like you got like heavier, faster, you know, like more and more. Like you just have to do everything like bigger and better. Like that's what it feels like.
Okay.
Like that's the motivator. You know, it's like I'm running, I'm going to run faster now. Like I'm lifting weights, I'm going to lift 10 pounds heavier.
Because I
like,
need to win the championship.
I have all this energy. Yeah. Like the sound effects, I'm going to like ding, you know, like, Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, we're back.
We're back. And today we're going to talk about So You Want to Live in DC.
So, you want to live in DC?
That was cute, like a little ringtone. Yeah. So Bridget and I have lived in DC Bridget's been here a little bit longer than I have. Like we talked about this a couple episodes ago. But
If you didn't listen to the first episode, stop what you're doing. Listen to the first episode, then listen to the second episode, and then we'll see you back here for number 3.
Yep. So what we decided that you had been here for like what, 3 years now?
We'll give it 3.
Yeah, we're just rounding up there. I'm going on my second year being in DC, so we thought it would be interesting to chit chat about what it is like being in the nation's capital, the District of Columbia. And just share sort of
not a state. It's not a state.
It's a federal area.
Is that the technical
I don't know.
term? I actually don't know either.
Because you really threw me off there. Like
I'm
I
sorry.
know it's not a state, but I was like,
I really just like threw that at you.
It's just a place.
Just a city.
Yeah.
But with so much importance.
So much. Like it's
We're
literally the
really-
capital.
We are in the center.
Which I always think about
the
randomly.
east coast of nowhere
especially
near the
watching the
center.
news. I'm like, wait, like people like have this weird conception of DC. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like walking down Adams Morgan and I'm like, I don't think they think of this.
They don't. They think of
Capitol Hill. That's
everything looks
basically
like
it.
Capitol Hill, and then that's it. And there's a big, wide, gorgeous city out
Yeah,
there
which
for
we're gonna
people
get
to
into.
discover.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else really quickly. Okay, so we've been in here for this time. And I was gonna say, especially coming from people from the Midwest, like we're not from the area. We're like we
Not from these
visited
parts.
DC before living here, but it's not like we were from Maryland or from Virginia or from here and like we're from the Midwest. So it's like it's not like we were from California and we had another glorified, hyper personified version of living.
Yeah.
It's like we were from Wisconsin and Illinois.
Yeah.
Like
Which we love.
I shouldn't even say that negatively.
Different. No, it's different though. It's so
Yes.
different. How many times had you been before you lived?
Twice.
Okay.
Like I came on that's a good question. I came on
Thanks.
genius. I came on a family vacation. Sophomore summer of college, 2018, I think that
Okay.
would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I came out here for like a weekend before I like decided I was going to move here to find myself an
wow.
apartment.
Okay.
And that was it. I just like knew there was something in the air here. Like it was just
Yeah.
calling my name.
Yeah.
What about
That's
you?
wild.
I know. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Oh my God. I love that for you.
Yeah.
I had been quite a few times before I
okay.
actually moved here. And I mean,
Well, you're
if you
counting your
count-
summers.
I sort of count those too, but even before then, I
Yeah.
had come, I came in 8th grade for my 8th grade field trip, and it was quite literally then that I knew I wanted to live here. Not to be cheesy or dramatic, but like truly. And then I came for a family vacation. It might have been before even my 8th grade trip. Somewhere in the middle school time period, I came for a family vacation as well. And then I came in high school. I came for spy camp. So I was here for like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks at American University. And then I came back when I was applying to colleges because I thought I was going to go to college here, which would have been wild. And I probably never would have ended up living here if I had gone to college here. So I had been like,
I feel like this is
5
not,
times.
not a good place to go to college.
that is, I
I would
so
say
agree.
it is not.
If you're like undergrad, like if you're gonna get a graduate degree,
yes,
sure.
The city is just not geared towards young people. You need
In that way,
yes,
in like a college experience way. It's very much so geared towards young professionals.
Like you need to be 21 plus. Not even because of the drinking. It's just like
the energy.
Yeah, it's just
not
weird.
very you rah rah.
No, I
serious.
also think that the schools here are kind of weird. I know.
They're just city schools.
Yeah.
But like not typical city schools
here.
either. Oh my God, same. First of all, Wisconsin was so the place for me. And I'm so glad I didn't go because then I never would have ended up. I would have probably been tired of it and had to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I had been a handful of times before and then I interned 2 summers and now I'm a
she's
permanent resident.
She's a Washingtonian.
I'm a Washingtonian.
I love all the different things that you could like call yourself. I'm a District of Columbia.
I thought it was not that.
I was just trying to make something else up.
I was going to say I'm a swamp rat.
Literally, we're rats. Like that's the best way to describe it.
Here's the thing, though, and I feel some type of way about this. I think when you see it, which obviously not in your own home, and I know you've had an experience, Blake, so I won't go too far into it.
I got rats by me, y'all.
Yeah, but like there was this one rat in my old apartment, like outside the building, and it would like run across the fence that you had to go in, and it was like good luck. I thought.
I know, and that's what I've turned it into. Is I'm like, I see a rat, like it's good luck. It's a good luck charm.
Good luck.
I know what you meant.
Thanks.
Okay, so we're gonna I have a couple questions for Bridget. I was telling her I want to like interview style her, maybe rapid fire, you could say.
Ooh.
But like, let's like get right into it.
Let's get to the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah. Okay. So like one thing, and I feel like by doing all these different questions, like instead of us just like rambling for 10 minutes about our thoughts on living in DC, like you're gonna get more of the direct what you're looking for.
We're gonna give the people what they want.
That's something
not
that
even what they want,
do.
what they need.
Exactly. Dun dun dun. Okay.
Dun dun. Okay.
Okay. So the first one,
yeah,
something that surprised you about DC.
Ooh.
If you are not ready, I have my answer.
I know this is gonna sound ridiculous, but the weather.
So true.
It's because coming from the Midwest, right? Like the winters are cold, the summers are warm. But like I had this idea in my head, and maybe it was like this New York state of mind that I had in my head of like winters are cold and you're by the water and this, that, and the other. The winter is so not bad here. It's incredibly mild. The summers though, let me tell you about the summers. That shit
disgusting.
Is nasty.
I feel like that's a Raven get nasty.
I walk around just a puddle of sweat.
Yep.
And the bangs, as much as I love them, dead giveaway for my temperature.
Yeah.
Because they're dripping.
Oh, yeah.
It's tragic.
Like, refuse to do stuff in person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I will break dress code. Like, bitch, I'm wearing khaki shorts. It's too
tank
fucking hot.
top.
I cannot wear pants.
Exposed pits.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
And like,
and I didn't, I also was like,
and it's like wet,
it's fine.
Sweaty,
no,
bad.
It's like you're damp.
Yeah, it's not dry heat like in the West.
No.
Like it's the worst version of humid hotness.
Yeah. And that I didn't think was going to be as big of a deal as it is. But let me tell you, last summer, I was walking to work, which was such a treat, except in the months of July, August, and most of September, when I would literally have to wear a different shirt to work because I would be so, and it's a flat walk. I'm walking flat. I'm not going uphill. I'm not going downhill. Well, a little bit downhill.
It's like so steady. You're just standing outside, immediate sweat.
You're standing on the corner waiting for the light to change, and you have lost a pound of body water.
Yeah. It's
incredibly tragic. So I think that, there's a handful of things, but that really, I did not realize how much it would affect so many different things. And I'm like, I kind of a little bit missed like the winter. Like it was nice to go home for Blake made a face when I said that.
No, it was because of my like nose thing.
Oh, I thought you made a face because I thought you liked winter. You do a little bit.
No, I do. I'm a cold. I much prefer the cold weather.
Yeah.
Like I would rather be freezing and get myself warm than just be hot and like I'm hot. Yeah. Like I can't
because
really
there's
fix
only
that.
so many layers you can take off. Let's be honest.
And like if you don't have air conditioning, like what are you gonna do? But like I can get jackets, I can get gloves.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I think that was my biggest surprise was the weather and how much it would affect everything and how much I really would miss the winter, because when I went home for Christmas, it was so nice to actually like be like, oh, it's winter, it's cold, it's Christmas. Ooh.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. That's a good answer.
Thanks. What about you?
I was going to say is the diversity, and not in the sense of like racial diversity. The diversity of like what we were talking about earlier is I really fed into what the stereotype of DC was of like, it's Capitol Hill, it's government, it's FBI, it's CIA, it's men in suits, and it's the National Mall, and that's
politicians
all.
And spies.
Yeah. And I'm like, wait, like we have like a huge whole industry that I work in, a flourishing restaurant and food scene. We have an amazing arts scene. We have so many theaters. We have so many concert venues. We have a huge music scene. We have like a huge plant scene and a thrifting scene, and like we have a scene for everything here.
Yeah.
And like
also like businesses, there's just regular like business
anything
things.
like anything you could think of, like every little facet
consulting bros,
of
finance
life,
bros.
like DC there's a thriving community of that. It's just a matter of finding it, which I was so surprised about. Like and yes, also the cultural diversity. Like homegirl, I grew up in Wisconsin. Like there was white people, there was black people, there was Latinos, and that was probably it. You know, but it's like here, it's like there's every embassy is recognized, and then it's people of every single nation here, and it's there. It is just amazing. But mine is more of what I meant by diversity is more of the just like things that are here that you wouldn't necessarily stereotypically think of when you think of DC. It's like we kind of like got it all.
We do. And we have it all in a beautifully sized city.
So like
that's
so small.
One of my favorite things about this
you
city.
You can walk like
everywhere,
corner to corner of the quote unquote like District of Columbia.
Yeah.
In my opinion, obviously.
Well, okay.
My
Lakewood.
walking.
I don't know if I would, but you could relatively reasonably. Or you could ride your bike like I do sometimes.
Or like Metro. Or Uber
the
or
Metro system here was actually just recently ranked amongst the top Metro. And as much as people like to complain about it, it is actually pretty gorgeous and stunning, and it's lovely. The buses, the circulator.
I took the bus here.
Oh yeah, you did.
I love the bus.
Yeah. So it is perfect size. And sometimes when I go back to Chicago, am I okay? Chicago? There we go. I'm like, oh my God, this city is way too big. Yeah. Because it's huge and it's spread out. And it's also the thing with like the no skyscrapers thing makes a huge difference.
I was just going to say that. That's my next point.
We're so on the same page. Okay, I'll let you say it.
No, it is. Okay, this is what I explain to people who had never been to Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Madison, Wisconsin is a smaller version of Washington, D.C.
Agreed.
Because in Madison, Wisconsin, there's also a regulation where things cannot be higher than the state capital, except for like maybe one or two buildings that get approval for it. And the same thing is here for D.C. Like we have a limit on how high a building can be. It is literally amazing to like see the sky.
The best thing ever.
And you can see beyond like your vision. And like, yeah, I hate Chicago. I did not like New York. It's fine to visit, not to live there. And like that is such a huge thing about DC. And it's like we have the water, we're on a river. Same with Madison. It's not necessarily isthmus or whatever. Isthmus. Yeah, but it's really close. Like we're basically surrounded by water.
Yeah, there's two
at least
rivers
on the sides
that
we're living.
Yeah.
Like I could, we whatever.
The Anacostia and the Potomac. For any of you folks out there wondering, those are the two rivers.
Yes, and so like it is just amazing to just see that, and there's no other way to explain it than if you're just like here and you get it. Like when you look out and you can see this, like the skyline, like you're not just looking at the 137 floored building in front of you. Like you could see the buildings for maybe, a good couple 100,000 feet or whatever. And
you don't feel swallowed.
No.
Which is my favorite thing. Like you said, when the sun is shining, you feel the sun shining. And when it's, overcast, you feel that too. But like, I truly feel like I don't feel like a small fish in a big pond. Like I feel like a regular sized fish in the right pond.
Yeah. It's really not as like,
oh my God, I'm on a roll
crazy
with my metaphors.
Really
I'm sorry.
I'm impressed.
Everybody start writing these down. Someone send me like a canvas painting of them.
Should we have like a coffee table book of like
we're gonna make a coffee table.
I always thought about doing that. Not like just like random little like quotes and things
little
that I
bits
like.
and bobs.
Yeah, I thought that'd be fun.
Oh my God,
that'd be cute. Like the milk and honey, but like better.
Oh my God, but so much better.
Because see, one thing about me is like I would never consume myself in something that everybody else does. So like Never.
One thing about you is that's so true.
It is so true, guys.
You will
Like,
not do what everybody else does.
no, like it immediately gives me the ick if I see more than like 5 people participating in something because I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, like that's bandwagon effect. Like
everybody look out. I don't want to get Blake in trouble. He hates a Lululemon fanny pack.
I do.
He hates it. And I have
canceled
multiple.
the belt bag. It should literally be illegal. Light them all on fire. I think they're literally disgusting. Like Chugi is like being nice. Like that
God.
shit is rancid, in my opinion. But
Okay, so do you literally want to run away from me every time I wear mine?
no, I'm just kind of like, wow, I wish she just like had more. Like I just want better for her.
Okay.
It's kind of like when your friend's dating someone that you don't like, and you're like, oh, they just.
That's how you feel about me and my
They
Lululemon
deserve
belt
so much
bag?
more. No,
Well,
like-
good thing I'm literally about to put it on as soon as we leave.
Yeah, anybody who just consumes like anything that's so just like,
That's basic.
like you're so like not original. I don't know, which is so annoying of me to say.
No, but listen, you're entitled to your opinion just like
Yeah.
I'm entitled to my Lululemon belt bag.
Exactly. That's just like my negative main character energy showing right there. But anywho.
And you know what? I love a self-aware moment for you.
But what am I saying, Bridget? One thing about me is that like I would always be the most like full of myself, but I would also be the most self-aware of
Like
like
he's about to turn around and literally say like, but I understand that I'm being
yeah,
this
like
type
no,
of
I know
way."
I'm being a diva right now, but like hear me out, you know, or it's like no, like I know that I'm like in charge of all of this right now, but like, come, what do you guys want to do? You know, it's
Yeah.
like I will still be.
I so appreciate that. About
Yeah,
you.
I will still be like putting the like I and it, but like I'm still gonna like let the group know that I know that I'm doing that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or it's like I know that I'm being this way. Anyway, we're moving forward. what is it like living in DC? It's not what is it like being Blake Biggie.
But the show is the show. The podcast is what will Blake and Bridget do, and this
Yeah.
is what Blake would do.
Yeah.
And Bridget will wear her Lululemon belt bag.
Sadly. Okay, so yes, we love not being swallowed in DC.
we
I'm gonna say, but we love swallowing
Stop.
in DC. Mom, I hope you're not listening.
Mom, turn it off.
No, but like one thing about me is
Uncles-
I actually would never because that's actually kind of disgusting.
Blake.
Sorry if anyone was curious.
Are
No,
we
like
gonna
I
have
would
to
never.
sidebar this?
No, I think that's fine to keep in. I would never.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I would be like, you can literally put it anywhere except there. Cause like that is a little dirty.
Okay. Respect.
Real recognizes real.
You just threw up the rock on side. Listen,
That's my new thing.
Respect. No, I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Thank you.
I need to
Respectfully, I respect. Okay, so
gonna
back to
channel
living.
that.
Yeah,
Okay,
back to living in
anyways.
DC. Sorry, sidebar.
Sidebar. We're just so.
It's okay. Okay, so I was gonna ask.
I'm gonna think about that for a while now. But
Yes.
That's fine.
Okay, so we did our most surprising thing. Do you have like
Yeah.
a negative?
Ooh.
Like not surprising and like a because the weather, it's like it can be really positive some days when it's gorgeous and beautiful.
Yeah,
But like, what's
obviously.
like a negative thing that like something that you wish you could change, something that you're not fully on board for? I kind of have two. If you need a moment, I can start with one of them.
The price.
My
the
God.
price.
The fucking price, you guys.
The price of living. I mean,
That-
in general these days, but especially here in a
Yeah.
city where you think you're like, oh, it's not New York. Like
It's not LA. It's not Chicago.
It's damn near. It's price wise,
Honestly,
sometimes more.
I was going to say like New York really, I think I was used to just DC prices at that point, especially
Yeah.
like coming from the Midwest. Like we have a really low,
I bought a
low
beer
price
In
throreshold.
the Midwest for $3.
Yeah, but
and
I
I
will
shed a tear
say-
of joy.
Going to New York, I was really shocked about, I felt like we did not spend that much, as much money as I was planning
Agreed.
on
Yeah, agreed.
when we had gone.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, maybe it's because I'm used to the DC prices now. So it's
Yeah.
like stuff was equivalent, but I still feel like we found deals and like,
Yeah, you can find a deal anywhere. That's the thing.
Yes.
But like at the end of the day, rent is expensive, groceries
Yes.
are expensive. And I think also there's a culture.
food is expensive.
Food
Going
is
out
expensive.
to eat.
Yeah. And there's a culture of which this could be a whole other episode too, is
Going and spending money.
going and spending money, but like the salary, like of people, generally speaking, right? Because you have a lot of government workers
fluctuation
here.
of what people make
Is
for working in the same or for being the same age. Like,
it's unbelievable.
yeah, I get what you're trying to say. I feel like that's
the
what you're trying
private
to say.
sector versus the public sector salaries.
For example, I'll be transparent. When I started my job on Capitol Hill, I made $36,000,
which is insane.
which wasn't even enough. Like, I had to
pay your rent.
No, like both paychecks had to go towards my rent.
Holy shit.
And then it was like, oh, I had some coin left over, but like I had to have a second job.
Yeah.
Okay, for example. But then there's like girlies and guys out here who are my same age, probably have the same experience, maybe more, maybe less, but they're making like six figures.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
it's really
what?
really wild. Like, so many people have second jobs, and
besides
almost
you,
all of our friends.
I do.
Yeah.
Two of our other friends do. Some people that I know do, or they have side like gigs. You have a side gig in some form.
Yeah. It's wild. It's crazy to think about when you really like sit down and mull over it, because you're just like, oh my God.
And I feel like the reason is, for a lot of people, it's not because of like, I don't need it to survive, but like I need to have my second stream of income to like be financially responsible of like, I'm putting more money towards my retirement. Like I'm actually building up my savings and not just like netting out at zero every, month or paycheck or whatever. I'm doing it because I'm trying to build a future for myself, where it's like that money should not be worked into my salary, but like worked into my cost of living, where I wouldn't have to do that.
Right.
You're like, I should be able to save 15% or whatever that, that's not the exact number, but you get what I'm saying. Like
whatever it is.
Only 50% of my income should go to my rent. 20% should go to, or 30%, I think it is, should go to your like needs and wants. And then like 20% should go to my retirement. But it's like, because it's so hard to live out here, like that ratio is not accurate based off of my salary. And I think that my job pays me what I deserve to be getting per my experience and my time with who I'm working with. Not that they don't deserve it, but it's just like so interesting, the dichotomy of like, you're gonna get six figures just because you're working for this global conglomerate of money hogs, and like
versus working
you're
for the
gonna get
government.
fucking pennies working for the people of America.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really quite wild. And there was this big culture of unpaid internships, which is a whole, I think, a whole other can of worms that we could go into. And as someone who was an unpaid intern once upon a time, it's really wild because the cost of living in DC, and then just like expecting students who are in college to come out here. Yeah. And live here for a summer, and work for free just so like they have the experience and then can maybe come back and work full time. Maybe, as my mom would say, a scam. A scam. Yeah, it's wild, but now they're moving away from that, thank God. But so I think that's the one thing. And then I think the other thing is I wish I could just like plop this a little bit closer to my family. Like take the city and plop it a little bit closer.
Of course.
I think, like I say, P's and C's, pros and cons.
I was gonna say, if I was staying in Wisconsin, I'd been like, damn, I need more to do.
I gotta
I need
get
more
out.
excitement.
Right.
I need more whatever. But so which is interesting because that's so funny, because I feel like both of the things that you said, the finances of being close to your family, is what I also would have said. But my 2 points were different.
Oh, okay.
They were actually different.
More.
So the first one was gonna be the crime, which it is just really sad. But it's every major city, which is annoying. It's honestly everywhere in America, and like I'm not really one to like harp on this and talk about it, but like it's gotten like a little bit ridiculous. It's like I can't take the fucking metro without knowing that there was a shooting at the metro stop behind me. Or the metro stop at the other end of the line. Like come on, seriously, people. Like carjackings.
I would say like it's been pretty bad the past few months.
And I'm like, is it the weather? Like it's nice out, so people are like up and at them. It's like, people I follow, this girl I follow who is from Wisconsin. She's a teacher. Her car gets broken into, like, I swear to God, like 3 times.
Wow.
It's like,
That's
seriously,
awful.
like, you're such a fucking loser that you had to break in someone's car. I'm sorry. They're losers to me. Anyone who does that shit, I'm like, move on. Like, do something else.
Yeah, it's been quite, I'm very,
any form of crime.
I listen. That's what I said. Listen. I listen to the news, all day, every day for my job. And it's a lot of that. It's a lot of
so
that.
that's just like really annoying and like sad and lame and aggravating crime aspect of it. But like it still does feel safe. Like I don't think I've ever really walked around and felt unsafe personally.
I was about to say I'm
not a female.
Can't agree fully, but I think generally, especially like where I live, feels very safe. I love my neighborhood. But I cannot completely concur on like when I've been walking around, sometimes I feel a little nervous, but that's also experience that many a female have.
Yeah, and so I just feel like I'm in a different aspect in that
Yeah, but
nature.
like overarchingly, like that's good that you feel that way though.
Yeah, anyway, but I do know that it's not safe necessarily always around here.
Yeah.
So crime is annoying here. And then I kind of forgot what the other point I was going to say originally. It was something else, but then
Being close to home.
No, because it was something different than what you had said. But then I thought of another one, which is the homelessness problem. So I'm not trying to like really be negative on DC. Like it is amazing and it's fabulous and it's cute, but like let's not ignore our flaws.
Right.
And I feel like the homeless problem is really big here, especially in my area.
I was about to say,
I
and
feel
you
like-
work in DC tourism, so I feel like you have a very acute insight into a lot of that because you go all over town all the time.
Yeah, I'm all over. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, are there a lot of homeless people around here by you?
Not necessarily around this area of town. I will say though, something that I know to be true.
Like the two main streets, you know, like this one over here
yeah.
and that one over.
Yeah,
I know
no,
what you're talking about,
yeah.
but like that obviously because they're just like traffic hubs. But like this like block, I feel like I don't really.
No, not so much. A lot of times it's by metro stations, which is
Yeah.
pretty common. But when I was a tour guide in college, we were
Well,
in the state
quad
capital. Yeah.
by Memorial Union.
Yep.
Full.
And it's very typical in capital cities. Like,
Yeah.
and we are in
Major
not
cities.
a capital city. We're in the capital city.
Facts.
So it's very common in big centralized capital cities for there to be like a larger homeless population, just like there was in Madison, Wisconsin as well.
Yeah, which it makes sense. It's just kind of, I hate to use the word annoying, but like, I feel like I don't know a better way to describe, but not annoying of the individual, just annoying of the situation. You know, it's like, why do we have homeless people? Like that is annoying. You know, like
Yeah.
we live in such a world where people shouldn't have to be homeless.
Yeah.
Like that's what's annoying.
Yeah, like,
it's like, why are these people, who is
we wish
failing
there
these
were
people?
more. We wish there were more resources for people
Yeah.
to be able to utilize. Yeah, which is interesting because as much of a like, and DC's so interesting because one, it's not a state. Two, it's a city and it houses the federal government. So there's a lot of like weird blurred lines
Yeah.
between like where the
Who is
federal
responsible.
government's responsibility
Yep.
ends, where the city's governments begin. And like, again, because we don't have the benefits of like a state government, there's like a lot of things that we rely on Maryland and Virginia for as well. So it's really interesting that even though we're, you know, quote unquote, the home of the federal government, we don't have the resources for people. It's quite an interesting sort of juxtaposition and something that to mull over, to think on.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
interesting. Like the situation is annoying. It's like who is failing these people?
Right.
Who is not picking up the pieces? Who's
Right.
not closing the gap? Like
Yeah.
clearly there's something going wrong, but everyone's pointing fingers or like
Yeah, nobody
nobody's
can figure
carrying
out
enough, which is a
who-
lot of like it's not just
like
homelessness.
such a metaphor
it's like
for life.
many other things.
Yeah.
But that one just really comes to light because in my neighborhood there's a huge homeless. I feel like they're much
Yeah.
more noticeable.
You also are on Capitol Hill as well, so
Yeah, and so they're just like more around, and not again to say that that's negative. It's just like I'm experiencing it every day. Per
Mm-hmm.
the woman coming into my like bushes area and dropping her pants in front of me to like
my
pee.
God, I forgot
Literally, and
about
I live on the
that.
first floor of my building, so it literally just like ass wide open. I was like, "Ma'am, what?"
by your
like-
bedroom window.
I was
you
like, I'm
mean?
trying to like be in a Zoom call right now, and like you're literally peeing right in front of me. It was awkward. Or the man who I walk past every day, like holding his alcohol bottles and like asking me for money to like get something to eat, and I'm like, bro, like you're literally holding like a tall boy. Who got you
Okay.
that? Like that doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Yeah.
Or this one time, this actually really triggered me is I was walking home from a restaurant that I was working at and I had a croissant and this man was like, "You got anything to eat?" And I said, "Oh yeah, like I have this croissant. It hasn't been touched. Like, do you want it?" He said, "What flavor is it?" I said, "Orange cranberry." He said, "I don't like that." I said, "Okay, then you can't have it." And he was like, "Well, can you go into the store and buy me something?" I said, "No. I just offered you this croissant and now you're going to be picky
Interesting.
with me." Oh, I like started yelling at him on the street. People looked at me like I was crazy, but I'm like, he picked me on
Was
a bad
this by
day.
your apartment?
Oh yeah, like on my 1 block home walk from,
from
the
the old
restaurant that I
restaurant
worked
that
at.
you worked at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it literally like sent me to oblivion. I was like, absolutely not. Which maybe that's just more of the people. Anyway, I digress.
So those are your two major cons, would you say?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. I can't remember what the other one was. Obviously, I think the cost is actually number one.
Yeah.
Because that sends me
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But I think a lot of what we're describing is a pretty
generalized
generalized
City thing.
city situation, I think.
Which I feel like people would say the same thing of other places.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Okay, Ashley, what's your favorite thing about DC?
Oh.
Which I feel like is so hard, but I have mine if you're ready. If you're not ready.
My favorite thing about DC, I think you said it perfectly when you said it earlier. There's, and this is going to sound cheesy, but it's like there is this like magic in the air. Like it's really unique and special place. Like there's quite literally no other place like it in the world, I don't think, or at least not in the country. I think it's this beautiful combination of like a city, but also like a monument in itself, which is really cool.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. It's the metaphors today for me.
Add it to the book.
Add it to the coffee table book. It's easy to get caught up in like, oh, I'm here, I'm there, I have these things to do, but it's never lost on me what this place is. I think my favorite thing is actually when people come from out of town to come visit and we like go to the mall and we go to the Capitol and I get to see them experience something that is quite literally in my backyard every day with like the monuments and like all of this amazing history and stuff like that. And I think, every city has its histories and its things like that, but like we're really in the middle of it all and we're in the middle of like history being made every day, and it's really cool. It's really, really cool. Like, I think it's that aspect of it where it's like you have that magic, the monuments and the history and the, all the different aspects of what that means. And
like old people were here and they like did things.
Yeah.
I always think about that.
It's really like, it's
Thomas.
your history books come to life.
I'm like, George.
Yeah.
Like,
Founding
Alexander.
fathers.
Like y'all was walking around here thinking things.
Yeah,
I'm walking
like
around here thinking
establishing
things.
the foundation of this country, and it's really quite cool. And as someone, I think both of us really like love that kind of thing. It's a really cool place to be, and it's so unique. There's like nothing else like it. And it's really hard to explain. And when you come here and when you visit, you see that. And then when you live here, you even get to see that even more. And it's special.
Yeah. And that piggybacks. I was just going to say, I love the free shit.
Blake with all these hot takes today.
Like I am such a cheapskate. But I'm so here for all the free things that the city puts on.
Yeah,
like
they do
really
a great
be doing
job.
the most. Obviously all the monuments are free. I'm like all of the government sanctioned ones.
Yeah.
Sanctioned ones?
Yeah.
I don't know what that word is. And like all the national galleries and the Smithsonian's, like even some private stuff is free, or they like free things are so common around here where it's like as much as the price is annoying, like you really can get a long way in like
for
activities for a little. So many things have free nights. They have extremely low entry fees. Like so many theaters and things that you have to buy tickets for offer like lower priced tickets for professionals under 35 or under a certain threshold
we love
of age.
the Kennedy Center for that.
Yeah. And it's like not just them, like so many places do that, or they have like discounted performances, or they just have like incentives for people who they know like cannot afford things because they know that it's expensive to be here.
Yeah.
I feel like that is just like one thing that is amazing. And especially when hosting people, like it's very nice to be like, these are all the things that we could do for free.
Yeah.
Like, let me know what you want to do. And if you don't want to do any of those, like then we can start paying for stuff. But like, we really do have this like list of 30,000 things we could go do that we don't have to pay for.
Totally.
And even for
agree.
like our own social agendas.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So that is like one thing that I am obsessed with.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna ask. I feel like we talked about this in our last episode, sort of like the social scene. We talked about that of like our time in life now. So I don't want to focus about that on DC, but I wanted to ask what your thoughts on DC dating was, because for those who don't know, let me explain why I'm asking this. Is that DC is casting right now for Love Is Blind.
They are,
and they're having a tough time finding people because nobody wants to do it. And
nobody wants to get married.
Which I mean, it is an interesting show to even just be cast for. Yeah. But I feel like between the both of us, like it's like you could run down the street and like every fifth person has honestly probably been asked. I feel like.
Oh yeah,
so
we know many people
who were reached out to,
friends of connected people of this and that
through the
who
grapevine
have been asked to specifically be on the season of Love Is Blind, which I think is hilarious because I'm like, the people that I know that said they've been asked, I'm like, be for serious.
No, some of them I'm like, how?
I'm like,
your Instagram was giving why were you
your
asked?
Instagram is giving you are not trying to get married.
And like I'm not here to like, you know, pull a card on anyone because like I would never do that. But I'm about to pull like, okay, it's annoying that Love is Blind doesn't cast gay people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is it all
so
hetero
true.
Couples? Because my favorite, I don't watch a reality TV show at all, or any especially reality dating TV shows because again, I would never do something other people do.
You would never watch The Bachelor.
Nope.
Too mainstream.
Nope.
Are you gonna watch The Golden Bachelor? I think it's gonna be so cute.
I will probably like, yeah, maybe
Let's watch.
Okay, sure.
Let's give it a try.
I did watch a couple of seasons of The Bachelor. I have watched it in the past, but then again, when it was getting too big, I had to step away.
Yeah. Too popular.
But like my favorite dating show casted, it was a show where like you were not there to get famous. Like you were on one episode to date the person that you were set up to go on a date with. And like that was it.
Oh.
And it was like, if you wanted to continue dating after this, you would go and continue dating. If you didn't, you didn't.
Oh, you've told me about this show.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's called First Dates Hotel. And it was gay couples. It was lesbian couples. It was straight couples. It was old couples. It was people who were like 18. It was people who were 79 and they were widowed twice. And they just wanted a life partner to like end the rest of their life with. Like it was the best dating show ever. And it was like you were truly matched with someone they wanted you to have the success. Like they didn't want you to just come here and like be a social light and, you know, like grow your following. I don't know. So that is my biggest thing about Love is Blind. And I was like, why are they not casting like, you know,
they need to really like branch out.
LGBTQ couples, which is not something that I would call out on wanting in my, you know, normal life. But I'm kind of like, that's kind of some fucking shade for a place, especially of DC, of how like gay it is here. I feel like I was honestly surprised.
Yeah, no, that's such a good point.
Because not to be like, if I'm like interesting.
No, it's. I just think that they're approaching it incorrectly.
Yeah, but
and
anyway.
they like clearly the thing about DC dating, at least
that's the thing about DC dating. What is your DC dating experience? That's what I was gonna get to. Both of us crickets. So we haven't dated. That's the thing. Well, no, we have.
We've really given it the old college try.
Has it gone well?
Yeah, I think the issue is this.
Well, actually, I think you got further than I did. Like, I met your person. So that's like...
You met him once.
Twice. And he said I was funny.
Yeah, well, because you are funny.
That's
not a hot take. Everybody knows that. Oh, I hope you get that ASMR. Blake's pouring me more wine. Wow. Pours more wine when we start talking about dating. Correct. Yeah, DC dating. Here's the thing. I was just so young and naive when I came to this town, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get on the apps. I'm going to go on dates. It's going to be so great. I'm going to meet all these new people. And then I very quickly realized that I know this is not everybody. I know that this is not the case for all, but really, truly, you get people who either are significantly older in a way where y'all are just like in two completely different phases of life. Like me and like a 38-year-old, 37, even 36-year-old, like we're just in two completely different spots of life. Like I'm still very much so new to my career and new to adulthood, like we've talked about in our previous episode. And they're like established and like, you know, just have done so many things. And then you also get the people who are young and think that they are the best thing since sliced bread. I think there's a lot of egos at play that I've noticed when it comes to DC dating, and everybody thinks that they're the best and that there's not any sense of like humbleness. And it's a lot of, we've talked about this previously. It's sort of hard to differentiate sometimes between like, are you networking with me, or like, are you like genuinely interested in having a connection and like a relationship? And sometimes you find that, and sometimes you go on multiple dates and it's great. And I think this is a universal experience where it's just like dating is hard. You know, you like, you meet people and you go on a date and you think it goes well and they don't, or they think it goes really well and you don't.
Yes.
And a lot of times too, like,
do you have like a specific instance?
Oh,
not like to get into a full on thing.
Yeah.
But like something quick. Like, okay,
yeah.
for example, like one thing with me, it's like politics comes up.
Yeah.
And that is always like a dividing thing because they get on a tangent and I'm like, okay, well, this is not going to work now.
Yeah.
You know, because you're just like going in on something.
Or like they only talk about their job.
Yeah. Like stuff like that. Like
only
that's a very
work.
common theme here.
It's
job talk, politics talk. It's like on a first date, it's like, listen,
let's
like
just like,
when I get to love you and like I know that you're a
yeah.
friend and I can appreciate you who you are, then I can like more appreciate your opinions. But we come flying out the gate of like gun control and like trans rights and like da 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 da, and I'm like, whoa. Like, remind me your name.
Yeah, it's very intense, and I think, and then like I mentioned too, the egos come into play, and it's just really hard. It's really hard. And then, you know, you can like start dating someone and you can think it's going really well, and then it's not.
Then they could be a fucking dumbass. And literally drop the best thing that may have ever happened to them.
Probably.
Not even may, did happen to them.
You're
let's
right.
be honest. Why would I? I'm
throw
so sorry.
that shade, Blake. Throw that shade.
Oh, it's been thrown. Do you want me to do it in an Australian accent?
Boom. Roasted. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
If
so
you know,
I think I've
you
just,
know.
and I also like am so, it's hot girl summer now. So dating not happening. Also, I think for me too, when I started really looking for a new job, I got out of sort of a somewhat relationship and then just stopped dating after that. And then was like really on the job hunt. And that became, I had a
Your
full-time
priorities
job on
shifted.
top of my own
Yeah.
job. And now it's summer. And now I'm like absolutely not going on a date. No, thank you. I'm hot girl summering. Catch me in September. But yeah, Blake, what about you?
Yeah.
Because you go on dates and you're good about going on dates.
Yeah, I feel like I was good for a while, like especially when I first moved here because I was like, I have nothing to lose. Like these people don't know me. I barely know anyone. So like YOLO to the max. Let's like, you know, get into it. Yeah.
Totally.
And they did not go well because of the things like I said earlier.
Yeah.
Like politics was a big thing. I feel like, I mean, it's just natural with dating. Like you think you like someone based off their Tinder or their Hinge and then you meet them in person. You're like, oh, we actually don't have that much in common. Or it's
Right.
like, you're fun to text with, but you're not fun to talk with.
Yeah.
Like that is one thing I've learned. I think this is partially a DC thing with the guys out here. Like so many of them are like dead ass boring.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but like,
Well, you're so not
but
boring.
like both of
though.
us are so outgoing. But it's like I meet
Yeah.
someone and I'm like, wait, you're like so funny to talk to and text and like
Yeah.
you have like a good, you know, like
Banter.
social media presence. You have a good dating profile. Then I meet you in
Yeah.
person and like I'm like like what?
No, you're really you're
like,
hoisting the conversation on your back.
Yeah, I'm like, are
Yeah.
you gonna respond? Are you gonna say anything? Are you gonna ask anything?
Right.
No, we're just gonna stare at this menu. Okay, this is awkward.
Okay.
So I feel like I don't know if I just attract like boring people or something, but
Well, you definitely don't.
yeah, as Bridget's sitting right in front of me.
I'm like, I don't think I'm boring. No, I think it's just
difficult.
It's
and-
really hard, but it's hard anywhere.
Anywhere.
But the vibe in DC with dating and
Well, people like to play the busy card. I'm busy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, for example, okay, I have a couple things I need to say. So just like
Speak your truth.
give me the floor real quick.
speak your truth, bestie.
Okay,
Floor is
so
yours.
I'm gonna give an example. So, per example, this guy initiates a date with me. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, let me know when. Like, this is my free time. X date, X date, X date. And he's like, okay, let's do Sunday, Mother's Day. I'm like, okay, fine. I have a concert. We can meet somewhere near the venue, but it does start at 7 or 8 or whatever. So like, we got to be done by then. He's like, okay, perfect. He's like, you pick the place and let me know. I said, okay. Friday, I respond with a place to me. I'm like, okay, does this still work? Like, does Sunday still work for you? I was thinking we could go here. I did not hear from him until yesterday. This was last Sunday.
Oh my God.
is
he
now-
did not text you until yesterday?
Yeah, it's Friday.
You
So-
told me about this on Sunday.
Yeah. So it's
What's
I
his
texted him
problem?
last Friday and so he didn't respond the entire week. So then he responds today. He goes, oh, sorry. Like when works for you next?
Never.
Yeah. I said, well,
Never again.
yeah. I said, funny thing is,
Jail. Prison.
yeah, I was like, I have plans tonight and I'm going home for a week tomorrow. So I guess you can try again when I come back. And then the guy before that, who I was supposed to go on a date with, doing the same thing, chit chatting, you know, having the fun banter, the complimenting each other, the being interested on social media and like
the
having
likes and the comments.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So then I'm like, okay, like we made plans to hang out. I was with you and Amelia earlier, and I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm ending things with my friends. Like, let me know what you want to do.
Sounds like you're breaking up with your friends.
Seriously.
I'm ending things with my friends.
yeah, like we're done drinking, we're done having our time. Like, do you want to come over? Do you want me to come over? Do you want to meet somewhere? Like, what is the vibe? And he's like, oh, I actually can't tonight. I said, oh, well, okay, this is the 4th time that you have now canceled on me when we made plans. So please do not Snapchat me. Also,
Don't call. Don't text
me. I was like, you can unfollow me on Instagram. Don't swipe up on my Instagram story. Like, literally show no interest in me until you actually mean what. I literally sent all this to him. I was like, I was also a little drunk, but I mean, I would have said it in general. So I was like, don't ever reach out to me unless you have genuine intention of like doing something. Because I said, I don't need a friend.
You're like, I got those.
Yeah. Like, and it's so negative, but like, I don't. So like, move on.
Yeah.
And then just to be vulnerable about, you know, one thing is like, I am not super involved in the gay scene. So like, I don't do the gay kickball. I don't go to only gay bars. Like, I don't have a lot of gay friends. That's just not something that's part of me. And I feel like here in DC with dating, it's either you need to be fully invested in that. And like, you know who all the players are. You know all the girls. You know, gay people call each other girls, for anyone who didn't know that. But it's like, you know who everyone is.
Yeah.
You know, you go to all the gay bars regularly. You know who's like the it people. You know who the cliques are. You know who the friend groups are. Like, you know who's on whose kickball team. You know who's like slept with who. Like, you know all of this. It's like high school, like insider drama.
I feel like I was getting a little bit of insight into that last weekend or the weekend
Bridget,
before.
we went to a couple gay bars with Bridget and one of my gay friends. I only have like 3, and
they were explaining the dynamics a little bit to me, and I didn't realize like how much like that it is.
And it's like, you can't be friends with this person because they did that with them, and like blah blah blah. And it's like this, just the stuff runs so deep, and it's so tiring, and it's just like, it's not part of my personality, and I'm just like, I don't care. Like so I don't involve myself in that, and that's a big struggle because if you're not, it's like you either have to be in it 100% or you can't be in it at all. You know, like the in between is awkward, and it's like, well, I would never, like, I'm not gonna go and participate with my person and do all those things because I wouldn't do them on my own.
Yeah.
You know, and like vice versa.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna expect me to come to stuff and I'm not gonna go, or like, you know what I'm trying. You feel like what I'm trying to say.
I get what
here.
you're trying to say.
You know, it's so that has been a real struggle for me personally, because it's like, oh, like I meet them, I really like you, but it's like your and I's idea of fun and like entertainment and like what we want to do in our free time is so different that I know it's not gonna work out. So it's like, let's just part ways now. Yeah. It's been fun. Hugs and kisses. Have a great life.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like that's been my biggest struggle.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And so I also, which is so interesting because I thought before I moved here, I was like, oh no, like I'm going to find my person in DC. Like, there's just more fish in the sea. Like, Wisconsin ain't happening. But now the more that I'm here, I'm like, wait, like, I align so much more with somebody who's probably living in the Midwest now, at least on like the way that I want my life to look and like spend my time and do my things. Yeah. So it's like, I think I have to go back and look around there.
I think the general consensus between the both of us is like, we love DC and we want to be here for a while, but we don't want to be here forever, probably. And that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing. And I think the beauty of it is right now, like, we're so young and we have so much time.
Definitely,
and like, as much as I would love to have a super special friend, I'm like, don't need her, him.
Bridget.
I give her pronouns to everyone.
Well done.
Same. Right. But like, don't need a guy to complete what I've got going on here.
Would love it. Don't need it. And I also say, like, it's only here to make my life better.
Right.
Like, if we start having drama, if we're not getting along, if like it becomes inconvenient, like I'm out. Like, I'm really trying to like do this for the long haul.
Tying in the themes of the last podcast.
It's like, we're only going up. Like, one thing Bridget and Blake would never do is peak, because we're always peaking.
Wow. That was so good.
And so it's like, you have to continue to take me up, because if you start to bring me down or like make me plateau, I'm kicking your ass to the curb.
Bye,
girl.
We kick him to the curb unless he look like Mick Jagger.
I'm talking about everybody getting crunk. Okay,
Well,
so that's the dating.
That's, you know what?
We should really do like a
We'll
full
do a
deep
deep
dive. We
dive.
could give some dating stories.
I was about to say, maybe once I'm back on dating, once I'm back doing that again,
maybe
it
that
could
should
be
a
fun.
thing. We should try to like,
Go on
we
dates.
should do it for the content.
Do it for the content. I'll do anything for the content.
So yeah, I just felt like if we were going to talk about DC,
we have to talk about dating. Because we've talked about friendships.
Yes. And
Me,
so many
you,
people
friends.
in our life. I feel like so many people in our life are dating right now.
Yeah,
so
a lot
it
of
has
people are
just
dating.
really been interesting.
It has been interesting.
Yeah.
And it's a huge aspect of, life.
Living. Exactly.
Right.
It's like,
companionship.
okay, we talked about work. No, let's talk about dating.
Yeah.
Like, not to be like,
the two big topics
Yeah.
du jour.
yeah. Okay. I have another question though.
Oh.
If you're this one maybe take a little bit longer for you to rack your brain.
Oh,
but because I don't even know what I would
nervous.
say right now. I was gonna say, if you would describe DC in like 3 words, what would you say?
Ooh, that is so hard.
I know. And I have
In
another question
3
after
words,
this. Yeah.
If I had to describe DC in 3 words, I'd say, I'd say,
If you want me to go first, I
yeah,
can.
you go first.
I decided my words. Okay. The first one I would say is dynamic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like, something is always happening in DC.
So true.
Like, the events are popping off, especially like I'm always pitching like event things to do, outlets and media and publications. Like, there's always something happening, and it's not even a something, it's like 1,000 somethings are happening. So it's dynamic. It's historic, obviously.
Yeah, historic was one of my words.
Which
for
I feel
sure.
like it would be a fool to not mention any sort of historic, aspect of DC because like, homegirl, like, have you done your research?
Yeah.
And then my last word is colorful.
Blake, my first word was going to be colorful.
Oh my
I was going to say that too,
God.
because it really is colorful.
Like, in all aspects. Like,
Yes,
it's colorful
the people,
in the
the
way
places,
it's
the
buildings.
things.
Exactly. It's agriculture. It's
Yeah.
people are color. Like, everything. It is
Yeah.
so, and I feel like colorful can even relate to like its liveliness. Like,
Yeah.
we have a
There's a lot going on.
and that goes back to dynamic. So it's just like
No, your words are good. I hate to be like, I would second all your words, but I
No,
would.
you can do that.
I think
heart message
not
all
to
of
be,
them.
yeah, I would emphasize. I think I also, not to be like cheesy, but it is like monumental, like in the way that it's like DC's has its own personality, which like contributes to all of the people that live in it too. And I think, yeah, I love the word colorful. I love the word dynamic. I love, I think also like, I'm trying to think of a way to say like, not like, when you walk in somewhere and you like sit down and you just feel like sturdy. Maybe sturdy is the word I'm looking for.
Okay. Established.
Established. Oh, there we go. We got there. I'm like, when you just like have like a solid ground underneath you, except some of the ground is a little bit rickety, like some of the old cobblestone and like the old bricks, like I have fallen and eaten shit before. But like overall, it's like an established place and you feel that. And like the establishments in the established place are very much so like
Known.
figures,
Yeah.
like in their own sense.
Yeah.
And I think I also like the way that the word, I don't want to say like breezy, but I want to say like airy.
Okay.
Like, not only is there like an air about the place, like we've talked about, but there's also like room for air. Like there's also room for movement, physically room for air. I don't know. I think I'm at the point where I have stopped making a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I get it, but
I'm like, that's so hard. I might have to come back in the next episode with my 3DC words. But I do
Yeah.
like the way established, I think established is right.
I was to say, I think my words were better than
your
airy, but I'm trying to be nice.
Your words were so much better than mine.
No, I vibe with established. Airy, I'm like,
No,
yeah.
Ari is out. I'm canceling her. She's done.
Okay,
She's
next
done.
question.
Yeah, give it to me.
Next one, last one, best one. What?
Last one, best one.
Do you have a favorite moment
Oh my
because
God.
of DC?
Well, I have so many great moments and so many great memories in this city, and we'll
Yeah.
continue to have some. I think, and this happened, and it's really, and I hate to be like, oh my God, it's whatever, because everybody talks about it and it's a little basic to Blake's demise. But I think one of my favorite things I've done since living here full time, making it a tradition, is at peak bloom for the cherry blossoms, which is, if you don't know, DC is home to, I think, the most cherry blossoms
outside of
Japan.
Yeah,
They
it's
were
just
a gift from Japan
it's a
to
big
the
deal
United
here.
States. It's a big deal, and they bloom, and then they're blooming for like a week or two
Yeah, a
weeks,
short
maybe,
period of time.
and then they're gone, and you have to wait all the way until next year, like the next year.
Season.
So it's a big deal. There's festivals, there's events. Blake's very involved in all that, and it's a huge tourist thing, right? So when it's a beautiful sunny day on a Saturday, and you're trying to see the cherry cherry blossoms at 2 p.m. Good luck, Charlie. So what I've done the past 2 years, and I've done it with some pals as well, is wake up at the ass crack of dawn. I walk myself to the base of the Washington Monument. I watch the sunrise over the Capitol building, quite literally like right next to the tidal basin, which is where most of the cherry blossoms are located. And it is stunning and a little bit profound even, because you're like, whoa. Like, and
it's pretty.
It's pretty and it's quiet, and it's never quiet in DC, but it's like a point in time where it's quiet and you're just sitting there. And it's like, I was the only person there this past year when the sun was rising. I mean, there were some joggers, God bless them. It's really, that is something that's so DC and so nice. And I love that moment. And I think that's one of my favorite things, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Oh, that's so cute.
Thanks. What about you?
I love. Okay, so I've been racking my brain. An answer is hard to find. But I mean, I feel like I want to say two things, but I'm like, I'm trying to like make myself pick one.
Say two.
I'm
That's
also
fine.
like feeling drunk right now, so
I know we've had some wine.
I'm kind of like.
That's why when he said the words, I was like, oh my God, I need to like. It feels like a test.
I know, and I'm like having wine, so I'm like almost like sleepy drunk, and it's late at night.
Good night, Moon.
I'm like, sorry, Amelia, I don't know if I can make it. Anyway, we're supposed to go visit our friend. She's having her first bartending shift, but we're gonna go because we're gonna wrap this up after this when I say my thing. Okay, so my favorite moments because of DC. Okay, well, one, I was gonna say people visiting me, which is what you had said earlier.
It's the best.
But like I feel like I would have felt that way no matter where I had moved.
That's true.
Because it's just like cute to bring people around to show them what your days
Where
look like.
you go and what you do.
Exactly. And like so many, obviously, people visiting you are interested in that. Otherwise, they wouldn't be visiting you. So like that's just been amazing. But I was honestly also going to say just like my job. I did not know that my job even existed before I moved here.
Yeah.
And so that's just been like so refreshing. And I think because of my job, like I've gotten to do so many things.
Yeah.
I get invited to so many events. I get to go to so many, exciting things.
You do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. And it's like, it is because of this job. It's not because of, I know these people. It's like I've met these people because of my work. And it's like all.
And your work is about this town.
Exactly. So it all relates back to it. So it's like that has been my favorite thing because that has taught me the most about DC.
Sure. Yeah.
And stuff. So yeah, I feel like that's just been like so exciting to think about. All the different little, things that I've been out and about to. So very thankful, very humbled, very,
Hashtag blessed.
Exactly. Well, thank you all for listening.
Thank you for listening. Come visit us if you haven't yet.
Yes.
Come to DC.
If you know us well or semi-ly and you want to sleep on a couch on a floor, like Bridget and Blake got the space.
We sure do. You're always welcome.
Exactly. Please come. Air mattresses are ready.
Yep.
And if you are from DC, share this episode and let us know what your favorite thing about DC is.
Please let us know.
Or
and
your
if we
least favorite
haven't done
thing,
this.
or just any of your thoughts about living in DC.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Or if you're going to be on the next season of Love is Blind, please let us know.
Oh my God. Could you like give us, we won't tell.
We won't just DM us secretly, DM the account, because I really am so curious, and we're going to have like a watch party or something.
I think I would watch it just because it's in DC.
Because it's in DC.
Like I want to see where they set up. Wait, but do they go on dates?
Well,
I never watched
when they
Love
come
is
back to
Blind.
DC and they live, like they do things and like they go around town.
Okay, that's
and
what I
stuff.
wanna see.
Like
I wanna
the pods
see-
are like in a studio or something. But,
Yes.
And then they like go to Mexico, but then they come back to DC and live for like a few weeks before the wedding.
Okay, yeah, I want to see that.
Same.
What I recognize, who do I know?
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God, what if they put
what
them up in
restaurants
like
have I been
an
to?
apartment building, like one of the fancy ones?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. But anyway, Bridget, let us know where they can find us.
Oh my God. Am I so glad that you asked, or what?
I think you're glad.
I'm glad. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at WWBDpod, and then on Twitter at WWBDpod_. One of these days, I'm going to nail it on the first go. And then please subscribe to our YouTube channel and check us out on all podcast streaming platforms to listen to past episodes, this episode, obviously, and future episodes.
That was so well said.
Thank you.
Iconic.
I was like focus foxed on that one. I'm like, I got to get this right.
We also didn't say what we're going to do this week.
Oh my God. What are you doing?
Do you want to share that really quick?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to Nashville, y'all. Giddy up. Let's go.
Yeehaw.
I'm going to honky and I'm going to tonky. I'm very excited about it.
Honky tonk.
And then I'm heading home afterwards, which will be lovely. I'm very thrilled about it. I can't wait. We're going to do a full recap episode of
Catching
Blake's
up.
time home, my time home, my honky tonk time. I'm also going to see Taylor Swift. And let me tell you, I'm about to be real annoying about it because I'm so excited.
I know, not you like living my dream.
What about you, Blake? What are you doing?
I'm taking some time off, so that'll be exciting.
Yes, you are.
I've had such a stressful time and I'm put in my PTO.
Yeah, you did.
I'm like, I'm gonna
treat yourself.
Yes.
2011.
Exactly. I am like gonna be out of office.
So excited
my
for you.
email responder will be up. I'm hoping to like do a deep clean of my place.
Yes.
We talked about this. Like I was like specifically took a day off to like just reset myself.
I'm so excited for you.
You know, like I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna go from my bed to my couch, but like in between that time, I will be pulling out the couch and sweeping and mopping and
All the
dusting and like
underneath bits.
all that stuff. Yeah, I'm actually excited to do that, and I'm gonna do a huge Amazon order to like get me. Sorry, total side note. One quick thing about DC: no brick and mortar here.
No.
It is just so much easier, convenient, better to just order online.
Always and
Total
forever.
side note, but
Unless you
anyway.
have a package thief.
Yeah, it's annoying. But thank you for listening. Follow us, comment, like, subscribe, do all the things you know, and we will catch you in the next one.
Keep doing it, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.